Welcome, this is Kim with Craftisan Studios. Today I'm going to show you how to make a trick-or-treat tote. So here are two that I've already made. They're small, so this is about 2.5 by 1.25, and then including different sorts of embellishments, it's about 4 inches. So here's the tote, and then this embellished in the front and embellished on the sides. There's a hole here, and there's a bow. So on this one it's very similar. There's a different front, and then the embellishments on the side come from different paper with a clothespin, that's what that's called, and some hemp and a hemp rope bow. So I'm going to make, not today, but overall I'm going to make about 25-ish of these, and they'll all be coordinated but different, and that way I can use scraps and I can use some other things that I have. So what I'm going to do initially is go through the supplies that I'm using to do this, and then I'm going to make 2, and then we'll see. I'll probably not embellish them on the video, and instead show you what they look like as finished products. So this is a modification of something that came out on Split Coast Stampers. So they're made with an envelope punch board, so you'll need one of those. And for glue dots, you can use craft or ultra thin, either one will work. And then to make the base, I'm using canvas core paper. It's a nice thick paper, so and with good images. So the tote will hold up well. So what I'm using, and you start with a 6x6 piece. So what I'm using are these spooky diamonds, candy corn on white. Actually, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use this on a different project. Sorry. Ravens, orange and black stitch diamonds, which I love, and this pin dot on white. And then what I do is I cut the 6x6, and then I edge it with ink. And so that's what these are. I don't know if you can see. 6x6, and then they've got black around the edges. And then I've got a bunch of different, and then the rest is really embellishment. So, and for embellishment, what I have is clothespins again. 3 different kinds of rope. This is orange and black hemp and a natural jute from Canvas Core. And then I've got some kind of, I bought these in particular to do this from Canvas Core. This is Haunted Sampler on white, and you can see I've already used one. And then this is another one, Halloween masks on craft. Then I have a lot of scraps, including this chalk stock from Canvas Core, which I adore. Here's some more. And then these are some Graphic 45 things that I have. This is Steampunk Spells, Le Cirque Collection, and these are Steampunk Spell stickers. So the only other thing I have is I have a little pokey stick so that I can identify the middle of, you need to be able to identify the middle of this hole so that you know where you're punching. So that's what this is for. And then I have a bunch of random circle punches. So those are my supplies. and let me clean up a little bit, and then we'll get right to making one. So I'm back, and what I have is 2 pieces of 6x6 paper that I have edged with black. I also let this sit for about 10 minutes so that it dried. And what you're going to do is use your punch board like you normally would, and you're going to punch at 1 1/4, and then you're going to move it over and punch at 4. And then you're just going to turn it and line it up with this, you know, that groove, the scoring that you made. You're just going to line it up there. And do this around all 4 sides. I'm just going to turn it over so you can see what the score lines look like. Let me put this away a little better. Don't really need those. Okay, so here are the lines. What you're going to do is you're going to cut along this line right to that point. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, I'm just folding this to so that you know, it wants to stand up. Okay, and I'm going to use this craft and the craft glue dots, and I'm just going to put it right on the end. And then you just take it and see how I folded it. Just line this up with the bottom and then press it, and you're all done. And do the same thing on the other side, where you, you know, adhere this little dot to the end. Line it up with the bottom edge and press it. Again, line it up with the bottom edge and just press it a little bit. And the last one, line it up with the bottom and press it down. Then to get these flaps, you just press them the opposite direction, put a glue dot on there and press that down like that. Again, put the glue dot in the middle and press it down. Okay, so you want to put these together, and I'm going to use this little, I think this is a 1/2 inch, and I want the center to be here. So I'm just making a little mark. And then I am putting this, and I'm trying to center that mark. And this won't punch through both, but you can press it a couple of times. And it will, I don't know if you can see it here. See that indentation that it's made? So it's told me where I need to cut. And I can do that. I can do one with the punch. So I'm just lining it up with the mark that I made. And I'm saving these because you will notice that these sides have dots, and that's where they're all coming from because I like to use what I have. So that is the basics of how you make this. And then, you know, the clothespins keep this together once you put things in it. So the rest is embellishment. These are so easy to make. I love them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through one more in case that was kind of fast or you need to see it with a different kind of paper. And then that'll be it. So again, we've got the punch board. And this is another piece of 6x6 paper where I have done the edge and I have allowed this to dry. And then we're going to score this at 1 1/4 and 4. And I'll include in the blog I have a link to a spreadsheet that I made that tells you where you need to set your or do the scoring if you want to do other sizes like 8x8 or 10x10 or 12x12. Okay, the scoring is all done. And we have the same score pattern on the back. And what you want to do is this big line is what creates the inside part of the tote. So what you want to do is cut on either side of that big one. So this way, don't cut this way, cut this way. Okay? That makes sense? This goes in. And then this is the section that creates the internal tote part. So this time I'll use the ultra thin. And just line it up with the bottom and press. And because these are glue dots, you don't have to wait for anything to dry, which is really nice for this project, to have something really secure immediately. So again, I'm just lining it up with the bottom and pressing. Advancing the dot and then lining it up with the bottom and pressing. And the last one. Lining it up with the bottom and pressing. So then we've got these little outside tabs. You could cut these off, but I just think they add something for really hardly any extra effort. So I left them and embellished them. Okay, and then we're just back to doing the center. So I'm just making a little mark. And I'll do a bigger one on this one. So I'm just trying to get that mark in the center, pressing as hard as I can a couple of times, not breaking my punch. And yeah, that did not make a mark that time. I'm going to use the smaller one. Maybe I can't use the bigger one on this. On this size. So I'm putting that mark in the middle of the hole, and I'm just pressing on this. And then I'm going to cut out, I'm going to follow that tiny score mark that I made. And save that. Lining it up with the score mark, punching, and there you have it. Now it's just a matter of embellishment. So these are just, you know, like edge circle punches, more circle punches obviously, and then, you know, this was one of the sayings from that sampler on white, with a little of the chalk stock behind it. So I hope you make a ton of these and that you have fun making them, and post links to them underneath this video. Thanks. This is Kim Rippere with Craftisan Studios, and this video was about how to make trick or treat totes. Thank you so much for joining me.